Hello, I'm Catherine from Sorry about that. I'm Catherine from Katherine Learns Stuff, and this is Crafting Unscripted today. Sorry, I just had to hit some buttons here, and I think I messed up a bunch. So if you are here live with me, say hello. Let me know that you can see or hear me, so I can make sure that everyone is present with us today. I was just trying to get myself a tea before I got too cold because I was setting up and I forgot that I have 1,000 things going on my screen here. So here I am, and I've got my tea to keep me warm because I'm still cold in my basement here. So if you're here, let me know. I'm just going to quickly check online to see if this is actually working because I'm really good at having tech problems. So bear with me as I try to find this on my iPad. And it says we're live. I can see myself there, so that's good. So it's actually working. So hello, Barbara. Okay, I'm glad you can see and hear me. So while I wait for everyone else to join, I know some people like to come in a little bit late. Some people like to come in a little bit early. I'm going to quickly do what I normally do. I'm going to do all of the fun stuff. But before I get started, the important thing. So Scrapbook Fun Summit is happening now. The kickoff party was last night at 7 o'clock. Maybe you were attending, maybe not. The videos dropped this morning at 10 o'clock Eastern time, so they're already live right now. My video went live this morning as well. Yes. And so be sure to check that out. I make some summer shakers. I don't have them handy here, so I can't even show them to you. But they are really cool little additions that you can make to your scrapbooking or card making or whatever kind of craft you like. And I'm doing a live Q&A at 2 o'clock today Eastern time. So make sure you grab tickets to the Scrapbook Fun Summit. I've left a link in the description below for that. You can get free tickets still. You can also upgrade to VIP if you can't watch it live. But my question and answer is at 2 o'clock. But I mean, you guys can always ask me questions here as well. But those are kind of more pointed questions, and it's a more conversation. Like that's like a dialogue with the organizers. So there's that as well. So be sure to grab tickets for that. Okay, let's get started here. All right, so last week, for anyone who wasn't here last week, we used a whole lot of scrap paper. Well, maybe like 3 sheets in total at the end of the day. And we made these, I'm going to call these backings for cards. And they're just like, I cut a bunch of pieces like 1 inch thick, and I kind of just glued them onto my backing sheets for like in any sort of random designs. This is kind of what I ended up with. I think I made a few live. I think I maybe made 4 live because it ended up taking longer. And I got carried away talking about stuff like I normally do. And so these are the ones that we made. And so this week, part 2 of the card making event is that we're going to now we're not going to design them ourselves because I'm not really always that great at designing stuff. And I find that you have to to design things, you actually have to I don't know, have motivation, inspiration, and technical abilities. But and not that we don't have technical abilities, but sometimes if someone's already designed it, why reinvent the wheel? So that's sort of the idea. So today, we're going to, for free, get some designs that are, we can use for sentiments, for the front of the card, not the inside of the card. I leave that up to you for later when you're actually using the cards. But we're going to do sentiments that we can get for free. So we're going to jump over to my computer here. And I'm on canva.com, and this is a pretty cool website. I use it for free. You can get like a subscription or whatever and pay for it, but you can do a lot of cool stuff with it for free. So let me just get this started here. Now, when I've got this screen on, I can't actually see the conversation. So I'm going to jump back and forth every once in a while to see the conversation. So you'll have to bear with me as I try to get that to work. And the way that I've got this set up, I can't have my cursor highlighted just to make things more exciting. So I'll try to move it slowly. So when I log into Canva, I've got this here, and I'm just going to collect a custom size just so that I can get an 8.5 by 11. And the reason I'm doing 8.5 by 11 is so that I can send this to my printer when I'm done with this. And so that's kind of the idea. And I just realized something is not right here on my computer. So hopefully, Barbara, you're on. Hopefully you can actually see me okay. I just lost my screen here. Let's go back to my face. I just realized something's not plugged in here. Just wait with me for 1 second. I'll be right back. I don't want my computer to die on me in 30 seconds when I'm not paying attention. So, sorry. Always something happening in the world of technology. All right. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that's still working and hopefully everything is good. Sorry, I just realized something wasn't plugged in here, and that means my internet connection and my that's not working. My internet connection and my battery won't work. Okay, let me just try this again. Where am I going? Okay, now let's try this Internet Explorer. Okay, so there we go. Okay, sorry, what did someone, Barbara said, I can see you in Canva. Perfect, thank you, Barbara. Okay, so we're in Canva, and the first thing that we want to do, so I just picked an 8.5 by 11 sheet because this is kind of what I want to do. And I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna go to Elements here on the side, and this is a cool feature here because pretty much you can do whatever you're looking for. And so we're just going to start off by doing happy birthday, because that's kind of the most common card theme that I use in my house. And so this has showed up a whole bunch here. I'm just going to go see all. And if you've never used Canva before, these little things mean it's pro, so you got to pay for them or have a subscription. So we're going to look for free ones. And I like this one. And I'm just going to click on them and put them, they're going to pop up on here. We'll move them around later when we find some. Like that one and that one. And I'm just going to change screens here for a second. If we look back over here for a sec, on these, I can see you in Canva also. Perfect. Hi, Pat. On these, I've got sort of like a lot of blue themes, and I've got some like pinks and blacks. So when we're looking for our designs for the things on Canva, we want to be able to have, or try to at least have a color scheme that matches or maybe doesn't match and contrasts it so that it looks nice, because obviously we want this to look nice. And it doesn't need to be super fancy. It can be like a cake or whatever. I'm just selecting a bunch here, and we'll deal with whatever happens later on. But the nice thing is that we can do sort of whatever we like with this. Okay, so I got a bunch of birthday ones. What's another one? Father's Day is coming up in like a week or two. I should probably figure that one out because I think I have to make some gifts for my husband. So we're going to do Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. And let's see what they've got. Okay, so they got a few here. Oh, that one's cute. This one. And I remember, I'm just going for the free ones. Now, they're jumping all over this page here. Don't worry about that. We're just trying to get them to focus on having a few so that we can cut them out and have different ones. I don't like the little faces and the ties. We're not a tie family at my place. So this is going to, that's cute, but I can't really do anything with that as a card because it's going to be on paper, right? So that doesn't work. Let's see, what else do we got? I need a few more Father's Day because each of my kids is going to need a Father's Day card. So let's figure out that. We're just going to wait for this to load here. I'm going to have some more tea. Now, if you want to be crafty and, you know, all like, I'm going to say, if you have a lot of time to kill and you want to design your own Father's Day logos and front sentiments, by all means. But this year, that's not happening. But I will make some shirts. And if you don't have Father's Day shirts yet, I've got a few at my shop and I'm working on a few more designs. And they're not really Father's Day designs. They're more like just dad shirts. So, you know, like dad joke kind of shirts. So, all right, I need another one. How many Father's Day have I got? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got 3. Well, maybe, can I find one more that's like free, or are they all now paid? I don't know. All right, just bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to go back to my face down, sorry. And is there a way to make these food safe to be able to use on a baking sheet for cookies? Ooh, I'm sure there is. I don't know how you would do that. I've never done it. I think like you would need food grade ink, maybe like food coloring or something. So I don't know. That one I don't know. Because I know that they do like paper, like at the bakery they print that stuff, but I don't know if they would do that normal, how you would do that. That's a good question though. Maybe I'll just make myself a note and see if I can Google that one and see if there's any way to do it. Food safe ink logos for cake. Tea. What's your favorite? I love Earl Grey. So right now, so sorry, I don't have my notebook today. I don't know where I put it, so I'm just using sticky notes today. So I'm going to look into that food stuff, the food grade stuff. I'm curious about that. I don't know the answer to that, though. And tea, I drink Earl Grey. So this is, no, it's probably orange Picot, I think, or Pico. I don't know how you say it. Okay, let's go back to this here for a second, because we got to find some more things here. But I'm going to talk about my tea. I think it's orange Pico. It's the Earl Grey stuff, not Earl Grey. It's the Tetley tea. And I think it's, sorry, my eye is twitching. And I think it is orange Pico. I also do Earl Grey, but I think it's orange Pico. So that's that's what we're gonna say. I find that I like coffee. Oh, I do. I love coffee. I love coffee. But if I drink too much, I get the jitters, and I'm already like super energetic, and I've got lots of energy and stuff. And if I drink too much coffee, it kind of goes to my head. So this is actually decaf tea as well. So, but it's nice to have something warm, and I don't normally finish the full cup, but I don't feel so bad about not finishing the cup. I can't find any more Father's Day things here. What else are we gonna look for? What's another card that we need? Let's do Thinking of You. Thinking of You. Because those are nice ones to get just when you have, like, sometimes someone just needs a card. So this one's nice. I like this. I don't know, but that's not gonna work with my color scheme. But Thinking of You is a nice card because, like, you never know when someone just needs a card. And I don't know if these are going to match my color scheme. But I think if we're lucky, we can actually change the color schemes on some of these here. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to pick, I don't know if I want a Thinking of You cake. Let's do that one. That's kind of retro. I'll do Hugs and Kisses. Okay. So I think we've got enough here. Now, we're just going to go back to face down for a second. So here we are with these things. So I'm sorry, Kathleen, I'm reading your comment. I do have Food Safe printer, but that would cost a bit to print when I'm doing 100 to 300 cookies. Yeah, so the only thing you think of, like, I don't know how, like, I really don't know how to work with the food grade stuff, but I think, like, my printer, like, I just have, like, a regular inkjet now. I don't know how a Food Safe printer would work and how much ink you get in that, but, like, the ink lasts forever. I was printing, like, full-on color sheets, like, I was like this the other day, and I printed, like, maybe 60 of these, and I still have, like, 90% of my ink, and that's after having the ink in there for a year. Looking for a ruler here, folks. I'm not just kind of sitting weird and being all crazy. Like, I don't remember the dimensions from last week. But the thing that we need to remember is that when we're making these cards, you kind of want the sentiment, like, you know, on the side or in the middle. You don't want it taking up the whole area. You want it taking up over some of the area. And so, like, what do we got here? We've got, let me get my sticky notes here because I'm going to forget this 30 seconds after I say it out loud. So I've got about 3.5 by, what do I got? 5.25. Okay, so we need to have the sentiment kind of like smaller than 3.5 by 5.25. Now this is where the tricky part comes because I lost my mouse. Let's go back to Internet Explorer here, which we lost. This here doesn't have dimensions on it, right? So even if I like click on it and let's just add a new page to make this like a little bit less busy. This isn't going to tell me how big this is, right? Like if I click and drag, it is actually width 4.5 by 2. Oh, perfect. That's a new feature I haven't seen before. So we really want to make sure that sort of the heights here that we've got is less than 3.5 by 5.25. And now I say that, but you really want to have like an outline around this thing here, right? We want to make sure that we've got an outline around the whole thing here or part of it to be seen. So you want to have it a lot smaller than what that is. So I'm going to start to move these around and just like make space on my page. And I don't want these to be huge. And I know you want like, this one right now is almost 2 by 2. And I think like, if we go back over here for a second, sorry, I'm just going to be jumping from screen to screen. But if I go 2 by 2, for example, that's going to be like, what do we got here? Like almost a sticky. Sticky is 3 by 3. So it's a little bit bigger than a sticky here. But like, you don't want to have something that's taking up the whole card, right? So that's a 3 by 3 there. So we want to have sort of, you know, nice dimensions on this. So that's kind of what we're thinking about when we're putting these onto our canvas here. And so bear with me as I try to size these. And the whole idea is just to like have a bunch. And gotta move some down here. I've used this cake before and it looks really cute on cards. I like this one. And what I'm going to do after, if we ever get these all, if I get this all organized and don't get distracted, I feel like sometimes like a dog where I'm like squirrel and then I run off and go kind of like in a weird spot. But we can also move these around so they fill up more space. And you want to, when you're placing these on your sheet, you want to have some white space around them so you're not sort of stuck cutting them right to the edge or whatever, right? So just keep that in mind. And my printer is set to cut to print right to the edges. That's a setting that you need to do in your printer itself, because otherwise it might just cut off the margins here. So I like to pull the paper as far as I can, or the designs as far as I can, to use as much of the paper as I can, because honestly I waste a lot of paper. What is happening here? Go away. I use a lot of paper when I'm crafting, and I waste a lot of paper, and I don't like wasting paper. I really don't, but sometimes there's not much of an option. That's 3 by, make it a bit smaller. Ew, I like this, but I don't have like gold printer paper, so I don't like gold ink, so we'll see how that turns out. Okay, we can do maybe like 1 or 2 more. What sentiment should we put in here? Oh, okay, I'm just going to stop over here for a second and read these comments, so bear with me for a second. Kathleen, food safe printer is a dedicated printer and has special food safe ink. Plus, using the type of rice paper, it would be so much cheaper to use regular cardstock and use something on top to be safe. Okay, so now I'm going to just digress here, everyone, just to talk to Kathleen for a second about the printer stuff. So what I've done in the past, and I don't know if this is the right solution or if it's the wrong solution, but I'll do like cake toppers. Now I know it's not, oh, sympathy. That's a good one. We'll get that one in a second. Thanks, Barbara. So what I've done is I do cake toppers or cupcake toppers. So I get these, and it's like, it doesn't work so great for like cookies, but like this will work. Let me change this to my face so you can see this a bit better. Like these will work right here. So you can like stick them into a cupcake or a cake. So you've got bigger ones. I've got this one here for like a birthday, right? So it's like big and it would stick into a cake, but it wouldn't go on top of a cookie, which is a bit different. And I get what you're saying. I mean, if you're doing like macarons, whatever they're called, you could throw it on the floor like that. Or you could like stick them in a little bit, like if it's, sorry, I don't know where my camera is here for some reason. You could just stick it in on top of that and have something like that, I guess. But I don't know how like you could put it on paper. I mean, I guess you could like, I wouldn't eat paper. I wouldn't trust that. There goes the other one onto the floor. Good stuff. So I don't know, like it's a neat idea for cookies to put things on it, but I couldn't think of like, I don't know of any food safe paper. Like I even think of like, I just bought white paper the other day. Last week we started to use it for these cards. Even that's bleached, right? Because paper is not that white normally, it's bleached. So you would have to find something that's, I wouldn't want to be eating that stuff. So I don't know, but I'm gonna have to research this more. This has got me excited, or interested at least, intrigued. Okay, sympathy. Sympathy, Barbara, I agree. Sympathy. Let's find some sympathy. I'm just going to write sympathy in here and see what it says. Sympathy. Let's do that one. Let's see, what else do we got for sympathy? Sympathy phrases. Let's see if that helps me out. I don't know if this is, I'm not sure how summer works with sympathy, but okay. How about you? Oops. I find that when I'm trying to type, and people are watching, it turns out terribly. So don't watch while I'm typing. Let's do it. You got this. I don't know if that's the one that I want, but you can do it maybe. And positive vibes. Okay. we're gonna squish these all onto my paper here. Now, I just realized, I don't think I have, this is gonna go up to this one. I don't think I've got paper on my printer, so I'm gonna have to disappear for 5 seconds after I send this to print because I don't think I have any paper in my printer. And my printer is silly because if I print on paper that's like regular paper, like just regular like super thin printer paper, which is what sort of the standard is for printing, my printer goes no problem. But if I put anything else in there, my printer decides to be smart and think that it knows what it's doing, and it'll start to question me. It'll be like, you're not using the right paper, you have to change the paper. And just print on the paper that's in there. Don't cause a fuss, printer paper, you know. But my printers, I guess that's a good thing, maybe, but maybe not. So sorry, I'm just moving these things around, trying to make them like, and I know I'm doing this fast, but I'm kind of looking at these pretty quickly and saying, okay, 2.9 by 2.2, so that should be good. I don't want these to overpower the carton. I'm gonna change the colors on this one here because I'm not sure I like this. It's just because I don't have very many pink cards, and I don't want pink to, like, I don't know, we're gonna go maybe change it to yellow. Well, let's go light yellow, darker yellow. That looks good, I think. And then blue. Let's do that. That looks a little bit better. I just don't want too much pink because I don't have pink backgrounds, and I don't have, I want it to kind of match. So I'm going to kind of lean to a little bit more blue. And I think the other ones are good. I'm going to make space for everything here. I'll make this one. Let's rotate this so that it actually fits in here, folks. Okay. All right, so this is good, I think. Do you guys think this is good? Let me see what you guys say. Thanks. Oh, thanks and graduation. All right, let's do it. Let's make another sheet here. Where did I go? I lost my page. Sorry, okay, so let's do add a page, and let's go elements, and let's go thanks. Let's do thank you. Might give me something that's less, this one's cute. I like these little colorful ones. I think they're kind of like just a nice addition to something. It's not like, I don't know, I like color. And I find that color is, this is good. Thanks so much. Well, these are a little bit, maybe this one's not going to be the color theme that the design totally that I want, but we can make this work. So, and then thank you, this one here. Okay, so some thank yous and graduation. All right, we spelled it correctly. Well, let's do a blue cap, that'll work. A black cap, we'll see, that might or might not work. And a diploma. Let's see if there's anything else for free just in this section here. No, and there's nothing free here. Maybe we'll do this hat instead. This hat and get rid of this one. Okay, and I'm just gonna resize some of these, get this all to fit. I don't know, something's not jiving here. Okay, so I've got some stuff here. Okay, so now I've got these. In order to print this, I've got to save this because for some reason I can't print directly from here. We're going to save this as a PDF. We're going to download this. Hopefully this is going to crash on me now. We're just going to go to downloads and we're going to save this. All right. So while this is downloading, my computer is going to decide to do a virus scan, most likely, because why not? We're going to go to downloads and we're going to open this up. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Uh-oh, you're not going to see this now. Sorry, let me just see if I can. Okay, you can't see that. Hold on a second. Screen recording. This isn't going to work either. Home screen. Okay, sorry. So this is the, don't mind that chaos that was just happening there. This is the picture. I just downloaded this and now it's a PDF. And so I'm going to send this to my printer. And it's just 3 pages. I think there's enough though. And hopefully they're a good enough size. This one might be too big, but we'll see what we can do with this. So I'm going to send this to my printer. Maybe. I'm going to try to send this to my printer. and my printer is gonna poop on me in a moment because it likes to do that. I'm just gonna change the settings because I need this to print nicely. Quality, advanced, we want this to be high quality. Okay, okay, print. And now bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to, we're gonna do face down. You guys are gonna look at my workstation here. You can admire all these cards while I try to figure out my printer. Bear with me for 2 seconds here. I just have to click a few buttons and I'll be right back. Because otherwise it's not gonna print. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry about that. When I designed, when I set up my printer like an age ago, after I got it, I realized that I have no space here in my space that I reorganized to make more space. So it's like at the far end of the area here, and it's like on a cabinet shelf thingy, but it's at the bottom, behind a corner, around an edge, and it's just like most inconvenient spot. And when I'm not using it, it's a great spot for it because it just sits there and it doesn't get in my way. But then when I need it, it's an impossibility to get to. And I was acting up the other day. I was going to swear at it. I was acting up the other day, so I had to like pull it out, move it sideways, and now it's even worse. So it's just, but the printer is fantastic. I know it doesn't sound like it is, but the printer is actually really good and I really like it. It's just when I switch from like cardstock to printer paper to sticker paper to holographic paper to whatever test runs I'm doing on whatever work I'm working with, my printer gets a little bit dirty, I guess. Maybe dirty is the right word. I made a card with stripes the other day. I was waiting to see this video so I can add to it. Oh, fantastic, Barbara. I'm glad to hear that. So my things are printing now. And it might take a few moments longer because I set it to print on the better quality paper. And the reason I do that, so the better quality ink, the reason I do that is that it just forces the color to put, like the printer to put a little bit more color onto it, and it looks nicer overall. So it just makes it pop more. So one of my pages is printed, so I'm going to go grab that quickly, and then we'll start to work on that as we do the other ones. All right, so here we are. So this is high quality. Let's call it high quality. This is what, so I changed the ink quality to high ink quality. So this is kind of like nice and bright. And this is one I did the other day. This is just regular paint. It's not as vibrant, right? So that's kind of the reason I do the better quality stuff. So now we have some options. Maybe if I can find my stuff. Well, we're taking longer than I planned. We got scissors. And we got paper cutter. So you can use either or to cut these out. And I like straight lines. I do. I like straight lines because straight lines are nice and like, but if you do not like straight lines, all the power to you. So like, for example, with this one here, I'm gonna maybe cut it out like a, I don't know, say, let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna use scissors on this one. But the idea is you want to leave a little bit of space. And now for some of these we'll show you, but not for all of them. We can actually add another piece of paper behind it to like make it pop more and use more paper, because as a paper crafter, we use a lot of paper. And so I'm just going to cut some of these out. This is for sure going to be a 3-day craft because obviously I got carried away over there with the... Now if you're good at cutting stuff, I'm sorry if I'm not on screen here. This is going to look like poop. That is not how I wanted this to look. So we're just going to, this one's not going to work out. This graduation cap, well, maybe. So let's just, maybe that could go there. I don't know. I don't like how that cut that out. We can fix that. But we'll see. So we're just going to cut a bunch of these out. So you can cut it out like this. I'm just going to leave that there for now because, you know, we have to do some of this stuff. Whoops. Don't want to knock my tea over. And now I'm going to look at this thank you one over here. I'm just doing random ones to like make this really complicated. And paper cutter is great for cutting straight lines. And last week, I think it was, was it last week when we were online together? I switched my blades and I got a smooth blade, although I've used it a lot since. So I got this thank you one. And it's not centered, so I gotta do a little bit of a fix here. But let's do... Okay, so we got a thank you. So if I want to do this, I can just put the thank you on top like that. Maybe even cut the edges on this one a little bit. So that's kind of the idea for one of those cards. I'm going to put this one. Let's see if I got one that's like, where this would pop a little bit more. That might pop there. Or maybe pop here. That might pop there. So we're gonna one here, one here. And so that might be too big. I'm gonna keep cutting these out, and here my printer has finished over there. Now, if you're good with scissors and not being like a 3-year-old like me, I think my son could cut better than I can at this point. You can kind of add some like shape to this. Now, the nice thing is I bought 1,000 pieces of paper the other day because I needed white paper and I was tired of running out of paper. So when I mess half of these up later, I can just like reprint them. And so once someone, as a crafter, you'll probably understand this, and I don't want to badmouth anyone, so I'm not going to name names, but once someone complained to me that I was very wasteful and then how I was not being environmentally conscious, and I thought, I'm a crafter. I don't know if if those two things are synonymous together. That's way too big. That did not work. I didn't size that one at all. That one's a no-go. Okay, bear with me just 1 second. I go get some more paper. But anyway, so we're going to waste some paper today, even though we tried to use scraps last week. And now, so we're going to waste some paper because I think I made some of these way too big. I thought I had them a good size, but I don't know about this because, like, maybe. All right, we're going to do Thinking of You. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more here, and then we're going to have to call it quits today, folks. But while everyone's gone, oh, I wanted to just show you. Let's do this one quickly, and then I'm going to show you something, and then we're going to call it quits today because I'm already, like, super far in. But, oh well, what you going to do? This is what happens when I craft. I get like carried away, and then last week when I finished off with you guys, I started to finish off these the bits, and I must have spent like, I got carried away, then I did some more of the crafts and other stuff, and before I knew it, I was almost late to pick my kids up from school. And so, you know how it is, crafting kind of just gets carried, you can just get carried away with it. It's like, it's nice, it's therapeutic, it's like, you know. All right, there's Thinking of You. Okay, so we got Thinking of You. Like that. Maybe it'll go on the side. I think I made some of these too big. I might need to reprint some of this and make it smaller because some of these are really big. And it wasn't, clearly I wasn't thinking. You make them as stickers, then stick the sticker on another smaller square for the background. I like the sticker idea. I do. Only problem is I've just run out of sticker paper. But that's what I was going with this. So let's just pull out this piece of paper here that's lying on the floor. And so I can put like a background on this. Oh, I like that yellow with that. I'm going to cut this piece right now before I lose it. But you can just use a piece of paper, and we're just going to cut this kind of here and add it onto like another piece of paper. And then the idea is so that for next week, we all are kind of on the same page when we're doing this. We'll see. See how far I get. I've got some other things happening because I've also got my live at 2 o'clock, guys. Can't forget about my live Q&A for the Scrapbook Summit at 2 o'clock. So I got to get that for that. But if I were to put this Thinking of You on the yellow and then put this on the blue here, let's just say this blue, then I've got it sort of done. So that's another option, or you can just leave them plain. I'm running out of space here. I thought I had so much space on my work desk. No, I don't. So you've got sort of an option of just leaving it plain like this or having it set up like with the background. So I'm going to do a few of these. We might have to finish this off. Like, I'm going to have to do some more of these next week because I've redone some of these sizes I think are too big, but we'll see. I'm going to cut them up. And I think I've only got like 12 of these, maybe 16. I'm not sure. There's a lot. But the idea is I'm going to do a bunch more. I'm going to get them ready. And then next week, might be a 2 craft session because I think the last step that we have to do is pretty simple, but we'll just chat and, you know, craft, right? Okay, so that's the idea for today. So while you guys are gone, I'm going to spend the next little bit doing this and getting ready for next week. So I'm going to cut these out. Some of them are going to be on backings like this. Some of them will not be. And then I'm going to not put them on to colors. We can maybe do that next week and then finalize all this stuff. And take 3 weeks to make cards. But that's okay. This is fun, right? Like this, everything takes time. And we don't have like, you know, we have lives outside of crafting, somewhat, maybe. Anyways, get your tickets to the Scrapbook Fun Summit. It started today. Videos went live like almost 3 hours ago. My thing is live here. Hold on a second. My thing went live this morning. This is what I made. No, everything's falling. That's not the right angle. Let's try this angle. I made these shakers, these summer shakers. They're like, you can add them onto scrapbook pages or cards. So be sure to sign up and get a copy of the files for this, and watch the videos so you can learn how to make these because they're super fun. And if you're like me and you like glitter and sparkles, you can make a big mess everywhere. So get the tickets for that. The link is in the description below. And I'm live 2 o'clock on the Q&A session there. So be sure to watch me there. You can watch me, you know, go like this again. And that's it for now. So thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for participating. Thanks for the ideas for how we can make these work better. And what we should use for sentiments. And I'll get some more of these done before next week, and we will go from there. So happy crafting, everyone. Thanks for coming.